I'm still drinking my eggnog, but yeah, I went and got a glass of eggnog, a salad, believe it or not, to go with it. Um, Really good salad actually. So if you ever find yourself, if you live here in the States, in California, I don't know if Belair is a local or national chain, but if you find yourself at Bel Air, go over to their produce section in the refrigerator part. They have these pre-made salads. I just had a organic. That part doesn't matter to me, but I know some people it does. I just had an organic chicken Caesar salad with sunflower seeds. So awesome. Obviously, I'm not a huge organic person. I'm drinking eggnog out of a carton. Anyway. Okay. It did that weird thing again. Okay, so while I was gone, I realized, and it didn't take as long as I thought it would to do everything. But I realized that I hadn't finished some of the concepts that I talked about or started to talk about, like the programming and the changing of the file names thing. Uh, I have the belief that technically speaking, just because they could do it doesn't mean they can do it, or not can do it, but just because they can do it doesn't mean they're going to. Um, just like uh, the Minority Report, where Tom Cruise's character, or anybody else for that matter, because I explained the plot to that story, wasn't gonna actually ever hurt anybody. Um, have the potential to be dicks and hurt people and do stupid shit, but you know they should be judged on whether or not they're going. They not that they're going to, but if they actually do it. I think that in this case with Fallout 76, that Bethesda should be treated that way as well. Just because they could do it doesn't mean they're going to. Anyway, I'll put this in here too. Um, the other thing that I mentioned with that was the math. I mentioned math. They probably can't pull
If you
the
have
lunchboxes
supplies to trade, I
completely
can
out
be
of
of
the game
service.
as much as a lot of y'all out there would love it if they did. Um, Pull it out of the program code so that you guys could all breathe easier. They're probably not going to be able to. Because if it was a thing that they had to put in
Resupply
agreement
here,
with the
citizen.
parent company, um, then it's there. It's there, and it's not going to go away because it's connected to other things in the program. I believe that they probably moved it to the Atomic Shop uh, section
I am
in order
authorized to
to
trade supplies
minimize the
and
impact
equipment.
of that piece of code to the rest of the game. Uh, but even if they do implement it in game, even if they do put it in the Atomic Shop,
Don't face the
um,
wasteland
you don't
without
have to
the
fucking buy
proper
it.
supplies.
And I know a lot of people out there right now are really shitting on loot boxes and how it's anti-consumer and all that. It's really not. And you know, uh, not joining a team of somebody I don't know. Thank you. It's really not anti-consumer. As a lot of people like to call it that, but it's not. Um, because you have a choice. Anti-consumer would be if they made it so you can't play the game without it. Like you can't get for it. Like Young Ye um, was talking about the Harry Potter mobile game and um, how they put Hermione's strangulation in a paywall you could either wait and watch her, you know, be strangled for like X amount of time, or you could pay to go past it. Now that is anti-consumer. Because the game is playable, but you know, it's not in the same way that I'm talking about, which is, you know, with the game actually being able to go out and play the game. No, you're stuck there for X amount of time. And people are you know, saying it's you know, the game's anti-consumer. You know, the Atomic Shop is just price gouging. You know, no. Think about it, guys. Think about it. If it was an instant gratification thing, okay? If it was, you know, because that's what this is really about, is instant gratification. Y'all want to be able to get into the game and within a day buy at least something that's $1,800 atoms, right? No. Would you appreciate the item? Would you feel proud of yourself for getting it if you could get it so easily? No, you wouldn't. Just like in real life, when you save up for a car, or when you save up for that house you've been wanting, or when you save up for the console that you've been wanting. You know, using your allowance, or your whatever, you know, however you make your money. You wouldn't appreciate it, you wouldn't feel proud of having it. You'd be like, okay, you know, this is what I deserved, you know, whatever, you know? And people are talking about how you pay $60 whole dollars, and yeah, nowadays $60 is a lot. If you think about it in by itself. It costs most people at least $20 per person to go see a movie nowadays. Okay? It costs, you know, in my car anyway, because I have a crossover SUV, it takes $40 to fill the gas tank. Okay? $60 if you don't try to buy every little video game on the market, or AAA title. I was being sarcastic when I said little. In the relative scheme of things, if you pace yourself, you only buy what you absolutely know that you're going to love and play or spend time on, instead of trying to get all the latest and greatest everything. $60 is not that bad. Say you buy Fallout 76, you play it for 2 months. Okay, you actually give it a shot and you play it for 2 months. I've been playing it for a month, roughly. It's been actually a little bit over a month. And I know that for a fact that I'm going to be playing it on and off for a really long time. Cut the amount of money that you spend over the course of how long you're playing it. So say you buy the game and you really like it like I do, and you spend months playing it, along with replaying, you know, some of the older titles and stuff that you own. Like I'm almost finished playing all the base game and all the DLCs for Assassin's Creed Origins, which admittedly I just got, but to make my point, a lot of other people already have it. Okay. So say you get burnt out on Fallout 76 and doing the challenges to earn Atom and stuff like that, so you take a break, right? You take a break, you play something else, you come back. That's what I've been doing, like, you know, every so often, because Jack and I have been playing a 76 to death. And today I decided I wanted to work on my solo character, so I'm playing it instead of playing Assassin's Creed. Plus, Assassin's Creed gets really tedious for me after a little while, because of all the go here, do that, fetch this, collect that, you know, stuff. It's really time consuming and really awesome. I really love the franchise so far. Well, not, I should say I've liked Odyssey and Origins. I liked the concept and the storyline of the original Assassin's Creed titles. In fact, I tried to play the first couple of them, but then I got burnt out because the gameplay controls were not good. and I get frustrated trying to do stuff, especially since the old Assassin's Creed games were very much more stealth based, and if the controls weren't working properly, then you could accidentally reveal yourself and or get out of line if you're doing that thing where you follow the people. Anyway, off topic. So you find yourself playing the game on and off for months. Paid $60. Let's say you play the thing for 3 months, right? That's $20 a month. I know there's some people in this world that pay that just to have the privilege of playing an online game. I mean, admittedly, that they're starting to do pay the monthly and you get everything now for World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft is a prime example. For over a decade now, people have been paying $60 or $40 or whatever for the game and its expansions, but then they've also been paying $20 a month just for the privilege of paying something they've already paid for. Right? This is no different. Implemented differently. But the mental, if you really think about it, you know, when you go and you play the game and everything like that, and you spend so much time on it, and you break down how much it costs you, it doesn't cost much. And the gaming companies are learning, including Bethesda, that it's better to have you pay an upfront cost and then encourage you guys to get cosmetics and stuff to have a steady revenue stream coming in than it is to have you continuously pay for a subscription. I call it price gouging. I love the fact that they don't filter weapons properly. I know, you guys all complain about shit like that, but I actually find it hilarious. I smile every time I notice it. Anyway. I had a buddy of mine to get off this price breakdown, because you guys should understand the concept of where I was going with that already with all the examples that I used. I had a buddy of mine say that he wasn't going to play this game anymore. He bought it for PC. That he wasn't gonna play it anymore until he saw Bethesda doing what he thought they should do with the game. Because he's like, if my beast of a computer can't run it at X amount of frames per second, then it's trash. That's an elitist attitude. That is a massively elitist attitude to me. He actually thinks that himself and the other players, especially on PC, that have powerful PCs, should be able to run the game at 60 to 90 frames per second if the build is correct. Not taking into account other factors or anything like that. Now, I didn't call him on it when he was talking about it. I'm not going to call him on it, you know, personally now. I'm not going to say his name. But that is wrong to think that way. He's allowed to think that way, but it's still ridiculous to think that way. In, of course, my opinion. Because everybody's computers are different. They can't program for every little thing. And while they were programming the PC version, they were also having to program for the console editions. And even the consoles are different in how they operate and render and everything. Oh man, it missed. I'm getting used to VATS. I'm never going to try to do that. One perk card where you are able to choose what limb you hit, because when you're in the middle of battle, it's not very effective. It actually is distracting, and then I end up, you know, all pissed off because I fuck up something or I get killed, because it takes forever to target the right one and all that stuff. Anyway, but I wanted to it's just annoying that people have such high expectations when they should just enjoy the fact that we have these things. Now, I'm not saying we should allow companies to do whatever they want. But I want people to take into account what is possible within the corporate structure, what your expectations are for the games, and what is actual reality, and kind of like try to make a compromise. Because that's ultimately what needs to happen. You need to make compromises for everything in life. If people didn't make compromises, somebody came into the area and spawned everything again. And I hate it. It's an online game though, I can't really help it. But a lot of people come in and they spawn shit and they don't bother to stick around and help fix it. It's too far. No, I hit him, but them, her, it. You know, I just becoming more and more overburdened because I know that there's workbenches inside. Where you gonna go? What you gonna do? I'm so not ready to take that on by myself. There's an event that goes on over there. I'm not saying kick their ass. I'm not saying that we should be submissive and sit back and let them, you know, walk all over us. What I am saying is that for things that actually matter, okay, for things that actually matter, we should you know, keep that in mind. Loot boxes, I don't know if I actually finished making my video ever. I had planned on making a video about the loot boxes and the government and all that stuff, but I don't remember if I actually did it or not. This is what I get for having such a busy life. Anyway, I see loot boxes as a personal responsibility issue. As in, if you don't have the money to be spending on it, it's up to you to stop yourself from spending your money on it. If your kid has a habit of impulse buying and not telling you, okay, it is up to you to lock that shit down. Okay, pay attention to what they're doing as a parent. You know, shit like that. Personal responsibility as a parent. Teaching personal responsibility to your children. You know, stuff like that. Not just complaining, oh, you know, the big bad corporation did this or that. Technology and shit like that's been around long enough doing all this stuff. You know, iPads and stuff like that. Who hasn't? That's an adult right now, or even a teenager, who doesn't have a concept of the fact that you can spend money through your cell phone, or through your iPad, or through your console.
I used to love coming here on weekends, taking
It just bugs me.
Now it feels like I walked into a nightmare.
Why am I getting irradiated?
Those scorched things are everywhere. I kept quiet. They didn't see me. I managed to observe them for a bit. Whatever this disease is, it seems to completely take over its host. The ones that used to be human, eventually they go rigid, like some kind of stasis. And if they stay like that for too long, they sort of burn up from the inside out. I wondered what could possibly cause them. And then I got my answer. It swooped down from the sky, screeching, breathing, infecting everything. I don't know how to fight this. But we need to consider all our options. Even the nukes. We find the source of this scorched flame and wipe it from the map before it can leave Appalachia. But first things first, we can't let the disease spread to us. Looks like the responders were developing some kind of inoculation. I'm going to pick up their work. You should too. This is the Overseer. Signing off.
Anyway, I'm gonna mute my microphone. I'm gonna stop ranting at you guys. With one last caveat. Video games, television shows, and movies, and fictional books are supposed to be about escapism. They're not supposed to reflect reality. They're not supposed to have politics, religion, stuff like that in it. It's supposed to be a way to release from stress and to make ourselves forget about reality for a little while. In the last 20 years, probably longer than that actually, people have been slowly but surely making movies, TV, books, video games, and even comic books about reality and the politics and issues that are going on in the world than anything else. And it's not, I've done this before, so I'm just going through it. And it's not making anybody happy. It's not fixing anything. And yeah, I know that TV and movies have been mediums for societal change and everything, but it's usually done a little bit more subtle than it's been the last 20 years. So that's my last little thing. I think we need to go back to where it was more subtle, it was slower, and the like, so that people have a chance to absorb and learn the lessons and or choose new avenues that they want to do instead of forcing things down people's throats. Just my opinion. And mic off. just in case you're wondering why I'm doing this, making bulk of these makes it easier and lighter to carry and put into your stash.
Responder Survivors Volunteer Program. Advanced training. Camping. by Miguel Caldera, robot programmer extraordinaire. Part 1, Finding the Perfect Camping Location. Now that the world has changed, it's hard to stay safe. Used to be that camping was safe as houses. Well, until there was the strong wind, right? These days, nothing is really safe. Even in your camp, someone might hurt you. The perfect spot doesn't matter now. It's all about your defenses. You can build near people you trust who will watch your back, or build things that will watch your back for you. No problem. Anyone can do it. Remember, camps are mobile. We're all explorers now, camping in a strange land full of adventure, wonder, and danger. So, camp often, and rest a lot. Before the war, I was gonna retire and go camping.
Hey,
Now I can do it every day.
did you hear
Forever.
something? Of course
It's a dream
not,
come true.
Because you're...
What you love, right? Now come to my camp, and I can show you some knots and framing techniques. Then, I'll direct you onto some helpful supplies. Good luck, volunteer.
You know, I've been tethered to Miguel for years. Years standing here with his rotten corpse. And you know what? I hate camping. Miguel has some camp schematics on his terminal in the airport and a camp program holotape. Find them and return. Camping wasn't always for everyone, but now that everything is destroyed, it's quite literally now for everyone living the dream. Right, Miguel?
I fucking love that bot. Sorry, I lifted my microphone back. Mr. Fluffy is my favorite
If your camp doesn't
bot
have
in the game.
all the necessities, consider using
He is sarcastic
irradiated
and has
garbage
very dark
to
humor.
add that special touch. It's not enough that I am tethered to an invisible point forever, but the nickname so uncouth. None of the other volunteer bots had idiotic names. Miguel used to be laid back, but these days he's just intense. It never gets old, unlike Miguel's decomposing remains. It's just so odd to see humans again. Well, the non-rotten kind, anyway. Right after the responders formed, we trained dozens of volunteers to build camps. An average volunteer takes 132 minutes to set up a camp for the first time. Responder Miguel set up this camp in only 9,999 minutes. Bravo. Right after the responders formed, we trained dozens of volunteers to build camps. average volunteer takes 132 minutes to set up a camp for the first time. Responder Miguel set up this camp in only 9,999 minutes. Bravo. Go over to that nearby clearing and set up your camp. Maybe at a cook fire and a storage container. You can always move your whole camp later.
Believe it or not, guys, this has only been a problem or an issue since the last update for Jack and I. We haven't gotten the responder, the thing where it says controls aren't responding because of the server issue until just this last update. Freaking sucks. I had to switch the door around. Man, this server's gonna crash. Or something. Anyway. I know. You must be asking yourselves why I built it just to take it back down. I don't want to keep my camp there. And if you build it and leave it up, people can destroy it in what I call high traffic areas. That's a high traffic area. So I built it just to have the parts ready. See how this person just built in the high traffic area, only did the 2 things that you're required. Anyway, so I build all the parts, I put them into storage in my camp, when I leave, and then I can move it to wherever I want. I have a couple places that I want to try now that it's a little bit easier to build there, and then you don't have to worry about people destroying your shit. It'll happen anyway later, at least for me. People will come and destroy my happy home eventually, but for right now, they can't even get to it. So, yay!
Responder Survivors Volunteer Program. Advanced Training, Secure the Supplies by Kesha McDermott. Volunteer responders, like you, must help stock our supplies regularly. If any of our caches are depleted, well, we'll run into a heap of trouble. Since this is your first time on patrol, I will walk you through it. First, head downstairs and out the back doors to get to the triage center. Good work, volunteer. The triage center sees the heaviest of casualties, so the supplies here are probably always running low. Restock, then head out to the tarmac. Responder Rocky's set up in the processing camp in a cargo container. Hey, you are doing good work, volunteer. I know it's tough to work and just restock shelves, but we need you to do this. Other responders will take care of them. We need people to depend on. If we're all safe, then we can rebuild anything. The world isn't destroyed, you know. It just needs our help. Now start heading over to the medical center. You want to keep your patrols pretty quick so the responder database doesn't lock you out. We use the processing center to hold food and drink supplies for any new survivors brought back for triage. So, it's real important to keep stocked. It's been such chaos keeping things well stocked. Since the Scorched, well, since the bombs. Seems like forever now. Like I used to tell my...
Attention all responders. This is a top priority message. Radar has spotted an inbound cargo bot. We've got to secure the landing zone so we can make the drop. Those supplies for the cargo bot's going to attract attention, so get ready for a fight.
instructors if they have any special supply requests. After that, head over to the control tower for your last stop. As you can clearly see, we need to constantly restock all of these supplies to keep our heads above water. And there's just no signs of it getting any quieter anytime soon. The control tower is on the tarmac, and it's your final patrol stop. I am so glad we established the volunteer program. We've gotten many good responder volunteers this way. DASA does good work in Flatwoods. Right? Miguel has programmed some of the bots to restock the supply caches, but nowhere near the rate that we need. So, the goal is that we pull in volunteers to do at least one patrol for formal advanced training. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. When you log into the Responder database, you'll be able to look up additional caches. Thank you for your service, volunteer. And remember, helping others will help yourself. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm home. Sorry it's been so long, but I couldn't get away. I know neither of you is around to hear this, but I miss you. I miss watching Dad grade papers on the living room table. I miss the three of us huddled around the radio, listening to the Silver Shroud. Dad, you were right about what living underground would really be like. 25 years locked in with the same people was a challenge. But watching them pair up, get married, have children, well, I think I got to know a little bit of what you and Mom were always telling me. Well, since I'm doing this whole trip down memory lane, maybe a walk over to the old high school is in order.
Anyway, thanks for coming and check out my stream and my channel, and I will talk at you guys later. I'm going to go to a safe zone and log out for now, and I will talk at you later.